Have you ever noticed this? You want success, but you find yourself avoiding the hard work needed to get there. It's so much easier to scroll on your phone than to tackle that big project. The idea of discipline feels painful, and real growth just seems uncomfortable. Let me tell you a secret. Your brain isn't broken. It's not lazy. It's simply been trained, conditioned even, to avoid difficulty and seek comfort. But what if I told you there's a powerful mental system that can completely rewire your brain? A system that makes you crave hard things instead of running away from them. This is what I call the Lotus Method. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to stop fighting your own mind and start working with it to achieve your biggest goals. So let's get into the real problem here. It's a common misconception that your brain hates hard work. That's not entirely true. What your brain actually dislikes is delayed rewards. Think about it. Your brain is a survival machine, constantly scanning your environment and asking one simple question: what can give me pleasure right now with the least amount of effort? This is a relic of our evolutionary past, and it's why comfort feels so addictive. It's why discipline feels so exhausting. And why true growth often feels optional, like something you can put off until tomorrow. Your brain isn't lazy. It's just incredibly efficient at finding the path of least resistance. So if you truly want to change your behavior, if you want to become someone who consistently does what's necessary, you have to change what your brain associates with reward. You need to hack its efficiency system to work for you, not against you. This brings us to the Lotus Method. Think about the lotus flower for a moment. It's a beautiful symbol of purity and resilience. It grows in the muddiest, murkiest water, yet its petals emerge completely clean and unstained. The mud doesn't stop it. The mud is the very environment it uses to grow. In the same way, this method teaches you to use struggle as fuel for your growth, not as an excuse to quit. The core principle of the Lotus Method is surprisingly simple, but profoundly effective. Your identity must lead your actions, not your emotions. Let me repeat that because it's the key. Your identity must lead your actions, not your emotions. Most of us let our feelings dictate what we do. I don't feel like it, so we don't. But when your identity changes, your behavior follows automatically, almost effortlessly. You stop negotiating with yourself because your actions become a natural expression of who you are. Alright, let's dive into the first and most crucial step of the Lotus Method: changing your identity. This is where the magic begins. For years, you've probably been using language that holds you back without even realizing it. You say things like, "I'm trying to be more disciplined," or "I hope I can stay consistent with my workouts this time." See the problem? This language frames discipline and consistency as things you are not, but are attempting to become. It creates a gap between who you are now and who you want to be. It's time to stop. From this moment on, you need to change your self-talk. Instead of saying, "I'm trying to be disciplined," you're going to start saying, "I am a disciplined person." Instead of, "I hope I can stay consistent," you'll affirm, "I am someone who does hard things." This isn't just wishful thinking. Your brain has a powerful, deep-seated mechanism to protect your identity. Once you truly define who you are, your mind will subconsciously push you to find evidence and take actions that prove it to be true. It's a psychological trigger. You're not trying to be something. You simply are. When you declare, "I am a disciplined person," your brain goes on a mission. It starts looking for ways to align your behavior with that statement. When faced with a choice between scrolling social media or working on your project, your brain will whisper, "A disciplined person would get to work." It shifts the internal debate from "should I do this hard thing?" to "what would a person like me do in this situation?" Your identity becomes your compass, guiding your actions. You are no longer fighting against your own willpower. You are simply acting in accordance with who you've decided to be. It makes the decision-making process 100 times easier. So your first piece of homework is to write down the identity you want to embody. I am a consistent writer. I am an athlete who trains every day. I am a focused student. Say it, write it, and believe it. This is the foundation upon which your new reality will be built. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for the next steps in the Lotus Method. Step 2 is the real turning point. Attach pride to your pain. This is where everything changes. Every single time you feel that resistance, that voice in your head telling you to quit, every time the work feels heavy, like you're pushing a boulder uphill, I want you to stop and tell yourself this. This discomfort is the proof that I am becoming someone stronger. Just like a muscle tears before it grows, This feeling is your mind expanding. Suddenly, pain is no longer a punishment. It's not a sign you're failing. Pain becomes the evidence of your growth. It's the receipt you get for your hard work. When you consistently reframe it this way, something incredible happens in your brain. Over time, your brain will start to release dopamine, that feel-good chemical, not after you finish the task, but before you even begin. Why? Because it learns that struggle now means pride. The anticipation of the challenge itself becomes rewarding. This leads us to step 3. Seek small hardships daily. Don't fall into the trap of aiming for some massive, life-altering transformation overnight. That's a recipe for burnout. Instead, just ask yourself one simple question each day. What small hard thing will I do today? It doesn't have to be monumental. It could be taking a cold shower for 30 seconds. It could be 1 hour of focused work with your phone in another room. It could be hitting the gym on a day when your motivation is at absolute zero. The Lotus Method teaches a fundamental truth. Consistency always beats intensity. These small, daily discomforts are like compound interest for your mental toughness. They stack on top of each other, day after day, until you've built an unbreakable inner strength. You're not trying to climb Everest in a day. You're just taking one difficult step every single day. Step 4 is to respect the struggle. This is crucial. When it starts to hurt, when you feel that burn, what's your first instinct? It's probably to escape, to distract yourself, to find an easier path. I want you to fight that urge. Instead, just pause for a moment. Acknowledge the feeling and say to yourself, this struggle is shaping me. Understand that easy lives create fragile people. It's the hard paths that forge unstoppable minds. The struggle isn't your enemy. Your real enemy is comfort. Comfort is the warm, cozy blanket that keeps you small and weak. So let's bring it all together. You were not born to seek a life of ease. You were born to become powerful through challenge. That is your true potential. It's time to stop asking the wrong question. Stop asking, why is this so hard? That question frames you as a victim. Instead, start asking the right one. Who am I becoming because of this? That question frames you as a hero on your own journey. That is the essence of the Lotus Method. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments what small hard thing you're going to do today. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on building an unbreakable mind. Here's something most people don't get. Your brain is plastic. It physically rewires itself based on what you repeatedly do, especially under stress. When you consistently avoid hard things, your brain learns a very simple lesson. Discomfort is dangerous. Stay away. But when you voluntarily choose difficulty, your brain learns a totally different rule. Discomfort is survivable, and it's meaningful. This is exactly how soldiers, elite athletes, and top performers are made. They aren't fearless. They are conditioned. The Lotus Method works because it repeatedly exposes your brain to manageable discomfort over and over until struggle just becomes normal. It's like lifting weights for your mind. You start small, stay consistent, and your brain adapts by getting stronger. This rewiring process is the key to building real mental toughness. You're not just enduring hardship. You're teaching your brain that you can handle it. Now let's talk about a huge problem most people face: the dopamine trap. We live in a world of fast pleasure, no effort, and instant reward. You scroll your phone, you get a little hit of dopamine. You eat junk food, another hit. This cycle weakens your motivation over time because your brain gets lazy. It expects reward without any real work. The Lotus Method, on the other hand, creates what I call a dopamine forge. Here's the critical difference. The dopamine trap is all about pleasure leading to a crash, which then leads to more craving. It's a downward spiral. The dopamine forge is about effort leading to resistance, which then creates meaning and ultimately strength. When you delay gratification and actually complete a hard task, dopamine gets released asterisk after asterisk the effort, not before the pleasure. This single shift rewires your motivation at its very core. Your brain starts linking dopamine not with easy pleasure, but with the satisfaction of overcoming a challenge. Eventually, your brain stops asking, "Where's the easiest reward?" and starts asking, "What challenge is next?" That's the moment you begin to crave difficulty because you forged a new connection between effort and reward. Another core piece of this is mental reframing and understanding that pain is information. Most people interpret pain emotionally. It feels bad, so they think, "I need to stop." This is wrong, but disciplined minds interpret pain informationally. Pain isn't a stop sign, it's a signal. It's not saying, "Stop." It's asking, can you stay present with this feeling? The Lotus Method trains you to observe your discomfort without panicking. Instead of having a knee-jerk reaction, you learn to analyze it. You ask questions. What exactly hurts? Is it a physical sensation or an emotional one? What part of this is temporary? What part of this can I control? Creating this emotional distance turns raw pain into useful data. And when you have data, you can build mastery. You're no longer a victim of your feelings. You're a scientist observing them. This shift from reacting to analyzing is a superpower. Once you consistently do hard things, something irreversible starts to happen. I call it the identity lock-in effect. Your identity literally locks into place. You no longer wake up and ask yourself, should I go to the gym today? Or should I focus on this deep work? You just do it. Action becomes automatic. Why? Because at this point, quitting or being lazy would threaten your very identity. And your brain will protect your identity far more fiercely than it will protect your comfort. You've become the kind of person who does hard things. So not doing them feels wrong, like you're not being yourself. This is why disciplined people often look so calm under pressure. They're not forcing themselves to act anymore. They are simply being themselves. The internal battle is over. This all comes back to a final, simple principle. The lotus flower does not wait for clean, perfect water. It grows in the mud. It uses the mud. You don't need perfect motivation to start. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to make one decision over and over. I will use difficulty as my teacher. Do that long enough, and your brain will stop fearing hard things. It will start to crave them. That is the full Lotus Method. Remember, hard things don't break you. Avoiding them does. Choose the mud. Grow anyway. Thanks for watching, and if this helped, make sure to subscribe for more.